The Buddha said, "Good deeds bring good results, and evil deeds bring evil results." Why is it that in reality, those who are kind-hearted and eager to help others often face many hardships and difficult lives, while some who act improperly enjoy wealth and honor? This seemingly paradoxical phenomenon actually contains the profound wisdom encoded in the deepest teachings of Buddhism. A venerable Zen master once taught many perplexed followers, saying, "Cause and effect never err. It is merely that your meritorious karma is being stolen without your awareness." Buddhism emphasizes the law of cause and effect, where planting certain causes leads to corresponding results. However, during the maturation of cause and effect, there are often hidden loopholes that cause the merit and blessings we have diligently accumulated to quietly dissipate. The loss of such merit and blessings is not caused by others. Instead, it originates from certain actions and mental states within ourselves. The Venerable Master compassionately pointed out that there are usually three obvious signs when blessings and treasures are stolen. Once detected, timely measures can be taken to prevent further loss, allowing good causes to bear good fruits. At this moment, your encounter with this teaching is no mere coincidence. In the vast ocean of causes and conditions, the illuminating wisdom of the Dharma has found you. If you also wish to accumulate merit and wisdom, you may write "increase in both merit and wisdom" in the comment section, allowing this precious connection to take root in your heart. Now, let us together unveil the mystery of the dissipation of merit and seek the path of wisdom that leads to true happiness and tranquility. In the Buddhist wisdom system, the term merit, punya, is not merely ordinary worldly luck, but a complex accumulation of energy, much like a bank account that requires deposits before withdrawals can be made. Our merit must also be continuously accumulated through good deeds and virtuous thoughts. The Sutra of the Earth's Store Bodhisattva states that the retribution of good and evil follows like a shadow accompanying the form. This causal relationship is precise and inescapable, yet transcends ordinary beings' linear understanding of time. Many people mistakenly believe that merit is solely related to material customs or a smooth and prosperous life, but this is not the case. True blessings manifest on three levels: physical health free from illness, mental peace without worries, and the growth of virtuous aspirations on the path of practice. A truly blessed person, even when faced with material hardships, can maintain inner peace and joy. This is the most precious manifestation of blessings. However, although merit is accumulated, it can also diminish. Just like a bamboo basket filled with water, if there are holes, no matter how much water it holds, it cannot retain it. There's a common saying, "Blessings do not come in pairs. Misfortunes never come alone, and meritorious rewards can be stolen." Mostly, it is because certain behaviors or mental states within ourselves have created invisible vulnerabilities. These loopholes can sometimes be extremely concealed, so much so that even while we believe we are performing good deeds and accumulating merit, we unknowingly deplete our blessings. As the venerable monks have said, those who cultivate fields of merit do not immediately see their blessings, and those who commit evil deeds do not immediately witness their misfortunes. This is the subtle reason why blessings are seemingly stolen away. Buddhism teaches us that if we wish to preserve our blessings, we must first understand the causes of their depletion. Just as diagnosing is the first step to curing an illness, safeguarding one's merit requires first identifying those unseen thieves. Next, let us examine the three signs indicating that the blessings bestowed by a great monk have been stolen. The first sign, and the most subtle one, is attachment to the form of merit. The Diamond Sutra states, "Because one does not abide anywhere, one's practice does not falter." This profound teaching reveals the highest realm of virtuous conduct. No attachment, no form, no abiding. However, many people, when performing good deeds, do just the opposite. Their minds are filled with the thought of "I am doing a good deed," clinging to the image of merit. Imagine a wealthy merchant who makes regular monthly donations to a charity. On the surface, it appears he is accumulating merit, but in his heart, he is calculating, I have donated 100,000 yuan. The merit should be considerable, right? What is even more troubling is that he craves the praise of others, hopes for media coverage of his good deeds, and even feels deeply satisfied when he sees his name on a donation wall. This mindset is a typical manifestation of attachment to merit. There is also a more common situation where, after performing good deeds, we secretly anticipate rewards. For example, after taking care of a sick friend, there may be a subtle expectation in the heart that when I face difficulties in the future, they will help me in the same way. Or after helping a colleague solve a problem, one hopes to receive their gratitude and praise. These seemingly natural mental states are, in reality, manifestations of attachment to merit. Dharma teaches us that true blessings arise from a pure and undefiled benevolent heart. Once mixed with attachment, expectation, and calculation, the nature of virtuous actions undergoes a subtle transformation. This is like dropping ink into clear water. The water immediately becomes turbid. Although our good deeds still appear virtuous on the surface, they are already mixed with the mind of attachment and greed. A great master explained that the greed-driven mind transforms merit into blessings that increase a person's fortune, but it cannot achieve the merit of liberation. This means that when we engage in good deeds with attachment, the blessings we receive are limited to temporary worldly benefits, such as wealth, fame, or health. These blessings often vanish in an instant and cannot bring true liberation and freedom. There's an even more subtle attachment. After someone performs good deeds, they may secretly feel proud, considering themselves a good person, which leads to the arising of arrogance. Some individuals, after performing good deeds, repeatedly contemplate their merits, fearing that something might have been overlooked, thus falling into attachment to their virtuous actions. Some even compare their good deeds with those of others, giving rise to a sense of superiority. These are all different manifestations of attachment to the characteristics of merit, which silently cause the gradual loss of blessings. The Buddha once used the lotus flower as a metaphor for the ideal state of practice, born in the mud, yet remaining unstained. True virtuous deeds should be as pure and unstained as a lotus flower. If in the heart there is no notion of self-performing good deeds, no distinction of a beneficiary, and no expectation of reward, such virtuous actions will bear the most perfect and complete fruits of merit. How can one avoid attachment to the marks of merit and virtue? The Venerable Masters teach us to practice the contemplation of the threefold emptiness of the self of the doer, the self of the deed, and the self of the receiver. When performing virtuous deeds, one does not cling to the giver, the gift, or the recipient. Abide the mind in the present moment. Only perform the tasks that should be done, without dwelling on the past or anticipating the future, and without attachment to gain or loss. Only by practicing such good deeds can one guard against the loss of the first stage of merit. The second sign is the seed of unwholesome karma that remains unsevered deep within our hearts. There's a profound saying in Buddhism: if the karma created over hundreds of thousands of kalpas does not cease. This statement reveals the inevitability of cause and effect in karmic retribution. No matter how long the time may be, the karma we create will always manifest when the conditions ripen. Many people feel confused, wondering why misfortunes occur despite having done many good deeds. The secret lies in the fact that the karma of good and evil do not cancel each other out. Rather, they each mature and bear their own respective results. Just as when a person plants both bitter melon and sweet melon seeds at the same time, upon harvest the bitter melon remains bitter and the sweet melon remains sweet. Their natures do not change simply because they were planted in the same soil. The most typical example is performing good deeds while simultaneously committing evil. Some people selflessly dedicate themselves to charitable organizations during the day, yet indulge in feasting and revelry at night. Some are generous in public, but harsh and unkind to their family at home. Others outwardly show reverence to the three jewels, but behind their backs, they often speak ill and harm others. Their good deeds do indeed accumulate merit, but negative karma is also accumulating and will manifest first when the conditions ripen. Even more concealed are those subtle negative karma that we overlook. An inadvertent lie, a barbed joke, a contemptuous glance, or even a fleeting lustful thought all plant seeds of unwholesome karma in our alayavijnana, storehouse consciousness. These seemingly insignificant actions, like trickling streams, accumulate day by day and eventually become a torrent that obstructs the flow of merit. A Zen master once used the following metaphor to explain: merit and blessings are like a bucket. Our good deeds are the water poured into the bucket, while negative karma is like the holes at the bottom of the bucket. If the leak is not repaired, no matter how much water is poured in, the bucket will hardly accumulate any. Similarly, if we fail to eradicate the seeds of unwholesome causes and conditions, even countless acts of goodness will result in merit flowing away through these fissures. In the Dharma, the principle that good and evil karmic forces do not neutralize each other lies in the fact that each type of karma has its specific conditions and results. The blessings brought by wholesome karma will manifest at the appropriate time, and the suffering caused by unwholesome karma will also arise when its conditions ripen. The two do not interfere with each other and operate independently. This explains why some good people experience suffering. It is not that their virtuous actions are ineffective, but rather that the negative causes they planted in the past are now bearing fruit. The venerable monk further explained that when negative karma ripens, its retribution is received first. Since the conditions for positive karma have not yet fully manifested, they do not appear immediately. Negative karma often matures and manifests its results preferentially, while the blessings of positive karma require a longer period and more complex causes and conditions to be fully realized. It is like how weeds grow rapidly, while precious fruit trees require a long time of cultivation before they bear fruit. To prevent the loss of this second kind of merit, we must be vigilant about our words, actions, and behavior. We should not only actively do good deeds, but also cautiously guard against evil. The Venerable Masters teach us not to disregard small acts of goodness, nor to commit even minor evil deeds. Every thought, every word, every action must be carefully mindful. By cutting off the causes of evil and cultivating wholesome roots, one can prevent the flow of merit from leaking through these gaps. The third sign that merit is quietly dissipating is the failure to protect the field of merit represented by the three jewels. The sutra says, "A single grain of millet in the Buddha field surpasses 10,000 loads of pearls in the human world." This sentence reveals the profound value of the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, as the field of merit. The three jewels are the most excellent fields of merit in the world. Reverently making offerings to the three jewels can bring incredible blessings, while showing disrespect towards them will cause a great loss of merit. Many people do not understand why reverence for the three jewels is so important. This is because the three jewels represent the purest and most perfect wisdom and compassion in the universe. The Buddha is the enlightened one, the Dharma is the truth, and the Sangha are the practitioners. Reverence to the three jewels is essentially a reverence for the truth of the universe, the essence of life, and the path to liberation. The merit accumulated from this kind of reverence surpasses that of any other worldly good deeds. There are many manifestations of perfecting the three jewels, some of which we may unwittingly commit. For example, although someone may outwardly show reverence to the Buddha, recite sutras, and make offerings, their heart may be filled with doubt and disdain. Some people place Buddha statues carelessly, even placing them in unclean areas. Some people recite the sutras absent-mindedly, going through the motions without genuine engagement. There are still people who lack basic respect for ordained monks and nuns, considering them to be merely ordinary laypersons. These actions are acts of disrespect towards the three jewels and will result in a significant loss of merit. A more common manifestation of disrespect towards the three jewels is the neglect of diligent study and practice. Buddhism emphasizes three stages of practice: learning through listening to the Dharma, contemplating and understanding, and actual application through practice. Many people remain at a superficial level in their study of the Dharma, assuming they have fully understood it after acquiring some knowledge, and thus ceasing to delve deeper. Some people study a lot of theory but do not put it into practice. For them, the Dharma is merely a topic of conversation rather than a guide for living. Some practitioners engage in their practice sporadically, with inconsistent effort, like fishing for 3 days and drying nets for 2, lacking the determination to persevere steadfastly. These are acts of disrespect toward the Dharma treasures, which will hinder the full accumulation of merit. The venerable monk explains that only an exceptional field of merit can grow vast and abundant blessings, whereas worldly good deeds yield limited blessings. This sentence reveals the uniqueness of the three jewels field of merit. Just as different soils affect the growth of plants, different fields of merit also influence the quality and quantity of blessings. Worldly wholesome deeds, such as donating money and helping others, can indeed bring about blessings. However, these blessings are often limited and transient. Respectful offerings to the three jewels can bring profound and enduring merit, as this virtuous deed directly connects to the cosmic truth and the source of life. An old monk once told a true story. There was a businessman who was very successful in his career, but frequently fell ill and had a disharmonious family life. He asked the old monk the reason, and the old monk inquired how he usually treated the Dharma. The merchant openly admitted that he had offered support to many monasteries and donated a substantial amount of wealth. However, upon further observation, the old monk realized that although the merchant outwardly showed reverence to the triple gem, he had never truly studied the Dharma. His understanding of the scriptures was superficial, and even the Buddhist statues in his home were covered in dust, clearly indicating neglect in paying proper respect. The elder monk told him, "Your blessings are being lost from here." Upon hearing this, the venerable master suddenly had a profound awakening. From then on, he sincerely and respectfully venerated the triple gem. Soon after, his health improved and his family became harmonious. How does one truly show reverence to the three jewels? First and foremost, cultivate a sincere and devoted heart, free from doubt and arrogance. Secondly, one should study the Buddhist teachings in accordance with truth and the Dharma, giving equal importance to the meaning, the words, and the cultivation. Furthermore, it is to practice the Dharma through concrete actions, integrating compassion and wisdom into daily life. Ultimately, it is about mutually upholding the true Dharma, allowing more people to access the wisdom of the Buddhist teachings. Such reverence for the triple gem can fill the third gap where merit is lost, allowing merit to continuously accumulate and increase. After recognizing the three major signs of the loss of merit, we need to seek solutions. A great master teaches that practicing the three higher trainings without defilements, morality, sila, concentration, samadhi, and wisdom, panna, is the most effective way to protect and maintain one's blessings and merit. These three are like a tripod, each indispensable, together forming a solid dam to prevent the loss of merit. First is the precept, which involves restraining oneself from unwholesome states and cultivating wholesome ones. Precepts are not only the guidelines left to us by the Buddha, but also amulets that protect us from negative karma. In daily life, we can start with the basic 5 precepts: refraining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, and intoxication. Observing precepts is not meant to bind oneself, but to constantly remind oneself to maintain mindfulness, preventing unwholesome thoughts from arising and unwholesome actions from occurring. A young merchant once asked a Zen master, "I have given so much in charity. Why is my business still deteriorating?" The Zen master simply asked, "Is the source of your wealth pure?" The merchant fell silent, because he often exhibits dishonesty in his business dealings. The Zen master compassionately said, "Only those with karmic connection have a place of origin. How can one with disrespectful talent generate pure and wholesome merits?" This story teaches us that observing precepts is the foundation for accumulating merit. Only by abandoning evil can one truly practice meditation. Secondly is concentration, practicing dhyana meditation to conquer afflictions. Concentration can calm the restlessness and distraction within the mind, allowing us to see our thoughts and actions clearly. Much of the loss of merit arises from committing mistakes in an unconscious state. For instance, speaking hurtful words in a moment of emotional loss of control, making improper decisions arising from greed, and destroying others' virtuous deeds due to extreme mental states. Resting meditation does not require everyone to sit for long periods. Cultivating mindfulness in daily life and constantly being aware of one's body and mind is also a form of practicing concentration. When you feel anger arising, pause first, take a deep breath, and become aware of this emotion. Before you prepare to speak, first consider whether your words are intentional. Before you act, first consider the motivation and consequences of the action. Such mindfulness practice can help us reduce the accumulation of unconscious, unwholesome karma and protect our blessings from being stolen by a scattered mind. The third is wisdom, the development of insight to thoroughly perceive the true nature of reality. Wisdom is the ultimate goal of Buddhist practice and the highest realm for preventing the loss of merit. Through the insightful contemplation of wisdom, we can discern the true nature of all phenomena, remain unclouded by appearances and unshaken by emotions, thereby making correct decisions in any circumstance. An elderly practitioner quietly swept the temple grounds for decades, never complaining, always wearing a gentle smile. Someone curious about the origin of his joy asked, and he said, "I am not sweeping the floor. I am sweeping away the dust within my heart. This land is not merely a corner of the temple. It is a microcosm of the entire universe." This elder, through the simple act of sweeping the floor, attained profound wisdom. Each of his movements was filled with mindfulness and compassion, naturally accumulating boundless merit. The three practices free from defilements are called free from defilements, precisely because they can prevent the leakage of merits and blessings. The cause can prevent us from creating new negative karma. The effect can stop our afflictive and deluded thoughts, and wisdom can enable us to transcend attachment to merit. The three complement each other, jointly building a fortress that safeguards our blessings. The Venerable Master emphasized in conclusion that the practice of the three higher trainings, Trisika, is not achieved overnight, but requires continuous effort accumulated over time. Just like repairing a leaking bucket, one must carefully identify every hole and patiently mend it. Only through persistent practice can we ensure that our blessings are no longer stolen, allowing wholesome causes and wholesome effects to correspond naturally and be perfectly manifested. After exploring the signs of the loss of the three major blessings and elaborating on the practice methods of the three practices to eliminate defilements, we have finally unraveled the mystery of why good people do not receive good rewards. This is not the failure of the law of cause and effect, but rather a flaw in our own accumulation of merit, which prevents good causes from fully ripening into good results. It is like a spiritual awakening. When we realize attachment to the signs of merit, the unsevered seeds of negative karma, and the loss of the three great blessings that do not arise through the field of merit of the triple gem, we can consciously guard against and correct them. The loss of merit and virtue is not predestined, but can be transformed through one's own cultivation and practice. As the Venerable Master said, merits and blessings follow like a shadow, not taken by others, but lost through one's own mind's negligence. Some people may ask, since merit is so easily lost, what is the point of doing good deeds? This very thought is a misunderstanding of the principle of cause and effect karma. Karma is never mistaken. It is only that before the result manifests, our actions may influence the timing and manner of its fruition. Just like planting a fruit tree, if it is not carefully tended, the tree may grow slowly or even wither. With careful nurturing and the removal of harmful factors, this tree will ultimately grow strong and bear abundant fruit. An ancient Chinese proverb says, "For those who do good, though blessings have not yet arrived, misfortunes have already been kept at bay. For those who commit evil, although misfortune has not yet arrived, blessings have already departed." This sentence reveals the subtle workings of cause and effect. Engaging in good deeds not only accumulates positive karmic results, but also embraces the boundless expanse of the Dharma. A truly virtuous person does not cease to perform good deeds just because their merit is not immediately apparent. A true practitioner does not lose faith in the Dharma due to temporary hardships. They understand that practice is a dialogue with oneself, a journey of the mind from confusion to clarity. In this process, virtuous deeds themselves are the greatest reward, for every act of selfless giving purifies and elevates the mind. May we all become true guardians of blessings, no longer allowing blessings to quietly dissipate. May we also become practitioners of wisdom, understanding cause and effect, and faithfully observing and practicing the teachings. Regardless of how external circumstances change, the mind remains steadfastly anchored in the right Dharma. This is perhaps the most precious gift the Buddha has left us, the wisdom and tranquility that are not swayed by external conditions. Finally, let us share a piece of Buddhist wisdom. When a mind is calm, the land is peaceful. When a mind is at ease, all beings are at peace. May each of our good thoughts and every act of kindness not only purify our own hearts, but also bring a measure of light and warmth to the world.